got, you know, it's spread.
Yeah.
And so you
Hold that.
you treat them with antibiotics, which can be subjective or objective.
Explain that now.
So if it's subjective, you shoot from the hip. If it's objective, you cultured him and you grew the bug, and the laboratory is telling you specifically what to treat him with.
Okay.
So if your choice of antibiotics is good, in this day of age, you know, you say, well, I always like penicillin. Well, penicillin might not cut it. So you've got different drugs like cephalosporins, and you've got other oral and injectable antibiotics. And some of these drugs last a long, long time. So like we have a drug called Exceed that some veterinarians like, some veterinarians don't like. But if it's sensitive, which means the laboratory says, hey, this is sensitive to Exceed, and they got the bug and they grew it, then that lasts 6 to 9 days, depending on the dosing plan. And how they determined that is that you cultured something. If you had 104 temperature, most veterinarians don't blood culture. Blood culturing is very difficult, and the yield is low. But that's the ideal place to get it. If you can get the bug out of the bloodstream, then you know what you're dealing with. So you use those antibiotics accordingly, and some of them you can go with a long time, a month. Some of them you don't go with too long, they might get diarrhea. It's always advisable to put them on a probiotic or something for their bowel, keep them healthy. And again, if they've done this really significant infection and they're septicemic, which means emic means blood. So if it's gone into the bloodstream, then you want to get all over that because it can seed the rest of the body. So it can filter out in the kidneys or the lungs or something else. So a lot of our infections that we get, the horse gets a pleurisy. Well, probably started with something that got into the bloodstream and it settled out in the lung.
Uh-oh. Hello, girls. How are you?
Wonderful.
Isn't this gorgeous weather?
Oh, yeah.
Woohoo! I'm once again going to attempt to put this up on the webpage.
Now, the most common issue is folk, because they don't have what we call barriers. So if they get a bloodstream infection, they get all kinds of open areas, umbilicus, they're taking in all kinds of new bugs, and we call them naive. They haven't been exposed to the outside world. So they get infected and it settles out in the joint. Then you've got an arthritis, septic arthritis, you know. Or it settles into the brain and then you have a meningitis. So they don't have a barrier in their brain area until they're about 2 weeks old. So they're always at high risk.
Yeah.
And you cover them with you know, high levels of antibiotics. Anyway, we do well with them. Generally speaking, we rarely have problems. When they get really significantly compromised, they get hospitalized. So that you can control the seizures, you can you can flush the joints, you can do the things that you need to do to reduce that level of infection in their body. And again, the antibiotics are the forefront. And if you've got the bug and you've got the sensitivity, you're way ahead of the game. So again, shooting from the hip is a little bit, a lot of old-timey veterinarians shoot from the hip pretty damn good. And so, but the other ones, you know, haven't that bug.
Yeah.
That's very good, though.
All right, well, just something to add to it. You know, we have viruses, we have gram-negative, gram-positive bacteria. You look out the window and they're out there. You can't see them, but they're out there.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Well, it's good to have you back.
Well, I'm feeling much better. And when I jog up those steps, you'll know I'm A number one.
When you jog up those steps, you'll be ahead of me.
Well, I'll be ahead of Michael because I'm afraid Michael's going to catch me.
Well, I'm not going